I think I
No, sir.
should have given some homework. What do you remember, Sabha? Do you remember there was some homework?
No, sir. There is not any homework.
There wasn't any. Okay, never mind. We will have homework today then. Frida Hoffman. Ever and ever. Today we are going to do some practice. Present perfect or past simple, you decide. Exercise 1. Listen and complete some other lines from the interview with Frida. You've already listened to the interview, but that was half the interview. Now I'm playing the rest, the other part of it. Listen and complete the sentences, guys. 6.7.
6.7 Frida Hoffman, Part 2. 1.
Do you go back to Germany much?
No, I don't. I've been back a few times to visit relatives, but I've never lived there again. I feel more English than German now, and I've forgotten a lot of my German.
2.
What did you study at university?
I studied ancient history at Cambridge.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh, yes. I had a wonderful time. The course was amazing, and Cambridge is a great place to live.
3.
Have you ever had any other jobs, apart from being an archaeologist?
Yes, I have. I've done all sorts of jobs. I even worked as a waitress when I was at university.
Really? What was that like?
I loved it. I was a tour guide too in the holidays. I met some really interesting people.
4.
You said you've often been in danger. What's the most dangerous situation you've ever been in?
Well, I had a very difficult time in Cairo during the revolution in 2011. I spent 2 weeks inside my friend's house. It was too dangerous to go out. Of course, I'm fortunate. I can leave a country when things get really dangerous. It was the local people I felt sorry for.
I'm going to play it again. This. Okay. Should have asked me earlier. I thought too loud when it is, you guys find it difficult to understand, So I'm playing it again for you, and listen to some extra lines, some other lines from the interview with Frida, and complete these sentences. Okay. I'm going to play the audio one more time for all of you.
6.7 Frida Hoffman, Part 2. 1.
Do you go back to Germany much?
No, I don't. I've been back a few times to visit relatives, but I've never lived there again. I feel more English than German now, and I've forgotten a lot of my German.
2.
What did you study at university?
I studied ancient history at Cambridge.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh, yes. I had a wonderful time. The course was amazing, and Cambridge is a great place to live.
3.
Have you ever had any other jobs, apart from being an archaeologist?
Yes, I have. I've done all sorts of jobs. I even worked as a waitress when I was at university.
Really? What was that like?
I loved it. I was a tour guide too in the holidays. I met some really interesting people.
4.
You said you've often been in danger. What's the most dangerous situation you've ever been in?
Well, I had a very difficult time in Cairo during the revolution in 2011. I spent 2 weeks inside my friend's house. It was too dangerous to go out. Of course, I'm fortunate. I can leave a country when things get really dangerous. It was the local people I felt sorry for.
Okay. What extra information do you hear here in the audio? So let's talk. First of all, we'll check these sentences. Do you go back to Germany much?
No, I don't.
Yeah. Nice sentence, isn't it? Do you go back to Germany much? We can also replace the word much with the word often. Do you go back to Germany often? Okay. Often is a frequency adverb. Much is also an adverb. Do you go back to Germany much? No, I don't. I've been back a few times to visit relatives, but I have never lived there again. Here, she's talking about her experiences without being specific about the time. She's not mentioning a definite time here. She says, I've been back a few times. I've been back. गए हैं कुछ 2-4 बार 10 बार गए हैं. I've been back a few times to visit relatives. Why? To visit relatives, but I've never lived there again. Once she left, she left. Okay. She hasn't lived there. Two, what did you study at university? Finished action. Studying at university is a finished action for Freda. It is a finished, finished action for me as well. So you could ask me the same question, sir, what did you study at university? Right? Some people will think confusion होता है, बहुत confusion है present perfect और past simple में. कुछ लोग सोचेंगे कैसे नहीं बोले क्या कि what have you studied at university? Okay, what have you studied at university? Okay. So obviously at university बोलने का मतलब when you were at university. At university means so you made the time definite or not? By saying at university, you made the time definite, right? Have you ever studied psychology? This is okay, because I'm not being specific about time. In your life, any time in your life, have you ever studied psychology? Any time in your life, right? Any time in your life is definite time or indefinite time? Indefinite. You can stay with the present perfect here. Okay. So what did you study at university? I studied ancient history at Cambridge. At Cambridge, right? F. No, next question. Number 3. Have you ever had any other job? Again, ever means any time in your life. Have you ever had any other jobs apart from being an archaeologist? She is an archaeologist, right? Other than this, apart from being an archaeologist, please, when a word or a phrase is used in the correct context, the meaning becomes easier. It's easier for people to learn the meaning of that word or phrase. So, have you ever had any other jobs apart from being an archaeologist? From this sentence, you get a certain meaning of apart from. And what is that meaning? Other than this. I come back from a party and I tell you I ate biryani there. Then how can you ask me a question using apart from?
Apart from eating biryani, have you had anything?
Have you eaten anything else? Did you eat anything else? Did you? Did you eat anything else apart from eating biryani? All right. So apart from being an archaeologist, yes, you are an archaeologist. Yes, you ate biryani. But other than biryani, did you eat something more as well? Mm-hmm. Sabaji is talking to her son in English now. I can hear the conversation. I can hear the conversation. What language? What language? Was it English or Hindi or something else? I couldn't understand. Did anybody understand what he was saying? The online students, did you understand what you heard?
Yeah, क्या कर रही हो like that?
Oh,
क्या हुआ?
it was Hindi.
Yeah, she
Okay.
doesn't say that, sir. Sorry, her daughter said that.
It was son. She doesn't
It
have a
was her.
daughter.
Okay, sir,
Son.
son.
Yes.
His voice is very similar to girl. That's why I'm confused.
He's very young. He's only 6, I think.
Mm.
Okay. So have you ever had any other job apart from being an archaeologist? Yes, I have. I have had all sorts of jobs. I've had present perfect. She's talking about experiences in her life. I've had all sorts of jobs. I even worked as a waitress when I was at university. The past simple. Why the past simple here? A definite time when I was at university, past simple. I even worked as a waitress when I was at university. This is good, Aman. What you did is good, but there is an additional thing you need to do. Compare it with your Hindi. If you do half the job, then you don't get a complete understanding. Okay? So half the job is to understand the English reason, and half the job is comparing it with your mother tongue. Because this comparison creates an understanding in your mind, which you don't lose ever. You might forget these rules after some time, but once you develop that understanding, you will always have those, okay? And that understanding, and you will not make mistakes when you are speaking. Like sometimes when I'm not in a good mood, or sometimes when the students have made me feel uncomfortable, they have thrown me out of my comfort zone in a class, I might not be able to explain something very well to them, but I still know what I know, right? So how do I know? Not because I remember the rules. Otherwise, it would be easy for me to repeat those rules in front of the students all the time, right? I have compared Hindi and English, and I know how it works. When Hindi is this way, English is this. So comparison is very important. Today, there are only 8 people online, and yesterday when I tried that experiment thing, you know, that
Only
YouTube,
seven. Only 7 is here, no?
including me, 8. And
Why?
yesterday,
Why did you include
because
yourself?
I'm thinking if I had done the experiment today on that StreamYard thing, it
Please
would have been
don't
successful.
do, sir.
It would have been successful.
I waited
Yeah.
30 minutes, you know, and I don't want to wait.
But it was not successful yesterday, no? Because there were 12 people yesterday, including me, and it can have maximum 10. 10 is the limit. You wouldn't have felt any difference at all. There was one difference though, that at one time I can have only 4 people who can talk to me. The rest of them can hear me, but cannot talk to me through voice. They can talk to me through
So,
text.
we don't want to study there, sir. Okay, that is good. Zoom
Yeah,
is
I
good.
know. I know Zoom is the best,
Mm.
but again, it costs money, and you know that any day it will.
So you want to save your money. That's why you want to teach on that platform, no?
It will cancel my subscription
Is that
anytime.
free? Is that
What?
free?
That
That app I don't remember the name.
there are three options. There are three options: free version, premium version, and super premium version as well. Okay, so
So you have to
the
pay for the super premium, no?
yeah, premium and super premium. In the
Okay.
free version, you can have 10 people maximum on,
But sometimes we have 14 and 13. So how can you manage that?
exactly. That's my problem, one thing I can do, if I make it public, then I can have as many people as I want. But they will be able to listen to me. They will be able to talk to me through text. They will not be able to use their mic until they ask me for my permission. If they, I
That is
like here, I can do the same thing. I can control the mic in my hand. I can give the permission, but here Zoom allows me to give permission to all the people at the same time. There on StreamYard, I can give mic permission, video permission to only 4 people at one time. And the rest of them, I'll remove 4, and then it is a fun
so
thing to
what
do.
about Google Classroom?
Google Classroom. I have to watch videos about all of them and see what they say. Comparison videos I'll watch on YouTube and then decide. Tonight,
But
I'm
I
gonna,
don't think you can find a better than Zoom, sir.
you are right. I also feel the same, that you won't find anything better than Zoom, because Zoom charges you money. So they are giving you some extra facilities. They are free because they don't have as many facilities, as many features. अच्छा देखिए, हाँ, मैं जा रहा हूँ, आप सब सुन रहे हो एज मैनी, असर तो हो ही रहा है, यही कि ज्यादा जल्दी असर होने के लिए आपको थोड़ा सोचना भी चाहिए। असर तो होना ही है, थोड़ा कम थोड़ा ज्यादा, उतना फीचर्स नहीं, इट डजंट हैव एज मेनी फीचर्स। ओके, कंपेयर कर रहा हूँ।
As many as here we can say, sir.
यही तो कंपैरिजन कैसे होता है, ये सेकंड वाला हिस्सा लिया मैंने। जैसे मैंने ऐसे बोला था, I said Zoom charges you, you pay for using Zoom. That's why it gives you more features. These
Yes.
places like Google Meet and other places are free. So obviously they don't have as many features as Zoom. He understood that, इसलिए छोड़ा था मैं. They don't have as many features as Zoom. Okay.
Sir, if we skip Zoom, then we can say here. If we all know that we are talking about Zoom.
That's why I didn't mention. That's why I said they don't have as many features. Because you understood as many features as Zoom. So I didn't say that. But you don't only drop Zoom, you drop as Zoom. Okay? That's the point. You don't say, oh, these places don't have as many features as, no.
And
They don't
I
have,
said as many feature as here.
no, okay. They don't have as many features as here. Yeah, that's fine. Instead of Zoom, you said here. That's okay. Absolutely.
That's what I asked, sir, and you confused me.
That's totally fine. As many features as here. All right. So what's yes, I've had all sorts of jobs. I even worked as a waitress when I was at university. Number 4. What's the most dangerous situation you
Have
Ever been in.
what's the most dangerous situation you
have ever
have ever been in?
You have ever
Been in. What's the most dangerous situation you have ever been in?
been.
People,
Well,
if they talk about their experiences, they say, I have been in bad situation. I have been in, it's my experience. I have been in very difficult situation. Once I've had a gun pointed at me. Okay. So have you ever been in a difficult situation, dangerous situation? Have you ever been in a dangerous situation? So, आगे बढ़ते हैं. What's the most dangerous situation you have ever been in? What's the best chicken curry you have ever eaten? Who is the most beautiful girl you have ever dated? What's the most beautiful girl you have ever been friends with? Right? No. What's के जगह who's कर दे तो ज़्यादा चलेगा? Who's the most beautiful girl? Who's the most beautiful girl you have ever been with? You have ever been friends with? You have ever been friends with?
the girl is
Words
there.
change the meaning. If I don't use the word friends, it could mean dating as well. Right? Who is the most beautiful girl you have ever been with? Here, this been with could be as a friend, could be as a girlfriend. But when I say, who's the most beautiful girl you have ever been friends with, then I'm talking about friends, not dating.
Yep.
Who's the most beautiful girl you have ever dated? Who's the
Do you
most
want to
selfish
know?
girl you have ever dated?
Do you
Right?
wanna know?
Nah. Think of more sentences. Think of more sentences. Who's the best English teacher you have studied with? Thank you very much. Okay. Okay. I said thank you before you answered. Okay. So
Dark joke, sir.
yep, just इसको कहते हैं अपने मुंह में मिट्ठू, self praise. Yeah. Confidence. Okay.
But you know the answer. That's why you said first. We will say we will announce your name. That's why
I thought so. I
know
thought so. Yeah, it was my confidence.
Yeah,
This is what Adnan is also
Yeah.
saying.
I
That
know
we're
where
gonna
it
say
comes
my
from. That confidence.
Okay, interesting. Who's the
For me, you know,
You're breaking up,
never-
Shahid. You're breaking up big time.
Oh, sorry to say. I said that I have never learned anything.
Get a little closer to your Wi-Fi if you are using Wi-Fi. And if you are using mobile data, go to higher place,
No, sir. Yeah,
higher altitude. We get better signals at a higher altitude now. Mhm.
Okay, I got some network problem.
Yeah, now it's fine.
I
You
said
can-
that I have never learned in English anywhere, sorry.
Right. So,
I can
good or
also,
bad,
yeah,
good or bad, no comparison. I'm the
no
only one in his life.
निर्विरोध जीत गए आप.
No comparison. Shahid,
I have never spent my
time,
time.
and
No,
money.
not money, sir. It was not a waste of money, sir. It is very much worthful.
Mhm.
So I said I have never spent that much time that I spent here.
Right.
It's been 2 years.
Let me correct the sentence. I haven't spent as much time as here. Okay. I've never spent as much time in any English classes as here. Okay. Yes.
Or if
True.
I said that much.
That much is okay. But फिर comparison करने के लिए कुछ बोलना नहीं होगा.
Okay, sorry.
I'll give you another example. You go to a shop. You want to buy shoes. They show you shoes. How much are they? They are 3,000. No, I don't want to spend that much. I don't want to spend 3,000. I don't want to spend that much. But when you have another thing to compare with, then as much as, okay?
Thank you.
I want to spend as much as he did. Sometimes Papa gives you 1,000 rupees for shoes and he gave your brother 1,500, then you will start complaining, right? You gave him 1,500. You are giving me only 1,000. I want as much as you gave him, right? So here you are comparing, so as much, okay?
So I have to say that I have
I've never spent as much time.
as here.
Yes.
So
Because
what
in
is
Hindi
the-
you're saying, यहाँ जितना time हम कहीं नहीं बिताए हैं, यहाँ जितना time हम कहीं नहीं बिताए. I haven't spent as much time
But what I
anywhere.
want to say, I forget, sir. What I want to say further, because you interrupted me. Okay, that's okay. You interrupted me.
But
That
you
is-
have to correct this sentence first and then go to the next sentence, right?
Yes.
So the sentence here is, मैंने यहाँ जितना समय कहीं नहीं बिताया है. I haven't spent as much time anywhere as here.
Like coaching class.
Yes. It was understood. Now, what's the most dangerous situation you have ever been in? Okay, people are in a situation. People are in a
Yes.
situation. That's why that preposition in there. Often Hindi speakers find it a bit difficult to understand the preposition at the end. They don't understand why in, because you are not a situation. You are in a situation.
Yes.
So what's the most dangerous situation you have ever been in? There was a time when people didn't like this kind of sentence and they thought that such sentences were grammatically incorrect. Why? Because there is a preposition at the end before the question mark. So there was a time 50 years ago, a lot of professors and teachers of English would frown upon this use of preposition at the end of the sentence. They didn't like it. They thought it was a bad way of writing English, substandard way. Lenin, who? Lenin, who was the president? Lincoln, sorry, Lenin, I said. Lenin was Russian, Lenin was somebody else. Abraham Lincoln, there is a story about Abraham Lincoln that he used a sentence with a preposition at the end, and the person who checked his copy said that it is wrong. Okay, so when he got to know that, he wrote a couple of sentences. This I have forgotten the sentences he wrote. They were very interesting sentences because what he did, he removed the preposition from the end position and put them in the front position where the teachers wanted. Okay, but the problem was the sentences became very, very vulgar, very strange. Vulgar here means not vulgar, obscene. They became very bad. Okay. They were difficult to understand. So Abraham Lincoln was a very clever person, and his vocabulary was very good, actually. He was very, if you get an opportunity to listen to Abraham Lincoln's speeches, it will be very good for you because he was an authority on English. And as I was saying, that sometimes some rules were forced upon in the past, but then slowly and slowly people moved away from those rules. Today, writing sentences like this, number 4, is considered absolutely fine. But just go 50, 60 years back in history, and such a sentence was considered substandard because you have placed the preposition at the end. Now, I'll tell you, when you were small, your teacher taught, in which class do you read? Do you remember that line? Do you remember, everybody? Because in our India, teachers have been teaching the old-fashioned English. Okay, so they taught you, in which class do you read? Look at the position of the word in. Okay, today people will ask you, which class do you read in? Which class do you read in? But they said, no, don't place the preposition at the end. Place the preposition at the front. So, in which class do you read? We don't have to stick to such a rule anymore. And they also taught you, old-fashioned syllabus we have in India. So they taught you, whom do you love? With whom do you live? With whom do you live? And modern English says, who do you live with? Who do you live with? But if you're writing an exam, Piyush, with whom do you live is correct. Because here, the syllabus of English has not been updated in India. We are still following 50-year, 60-year-old syllabus. The English left us in 1947, and we are carrying the same English in our academics. Yes, everybody uses modern English in their conversation, but when it comes to academics, college, school syllabus, there we are still following the old syllabus of grammar. We have not accepted the new rules. So, with whom do you live? Instead of saying, who do you live with? Okay.
Sir, don't say who time,
Come again, Shahid.
who do you spend time with?
Your voice is breaking up. You're breaking up
Who do
big time.
you spend time with?
Who do you spend time with? Who do you like spending time with? Who do you like spending time with? Okay, good. Yes. What's the most dangerous situation you have ever been in? So, here is a point, grammar point. Because it's a question, some people will think, have you hona chahiye na? You have kaise bol rahe hain? What's the most dangerous situation? Have you ever been in? Yeah, you have ever been in.
But there is question mark in the answer.
Question mark hai. So have should come before you or have should go after you? The answer to this question is very interesting. In one sentence, you cannot have question arrangement in two places. Question arrangement means, you understand? The order of the words. Okay? Take a look at this. You have been, have you been? What's the difference between these two phrases? One appears in a positive, in a statement, and one appears in a question. So, you have been, this one appears in a statement. Have you been? This appears in a question. Simple. Now, this is a question. So, you should think, okay, have you been? But look at the front part. What's the most dangerous? What is the most dangerous situation? Isn't it a question arrangement too?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
So in English, you will never, ever use two question arrangements in one sentence. It's a question sentence, yes, but you say, what's the most dangerous situation? Because this is a question arrangement. After this, you need to follow it in a statement arrangement. If you are confused, kya hota hai statement arrangement, kya hota hai question arrangement, then I'm really sorry. I think we all know this, right? So, ek aur deta hu. Why do you think he is crying? वो क्यों रो रहा है तुम्हारे हिसाब से? तुमको क्या लगता है वो क्यों रो रहा है? तो why do you think, is he crying? He is crying.
He is crying.
He is crying.
Why do
क्योंकि
you think
दोबारा कैसे
he
कर
is
सकते हो? एक
crying?
बार तो कर ही दिया question arrangement. Do you think? Why do you think he is crying? क्यों रो रहा है वो आपके हिसाब से? और इसका मतलब है तुम क्यों सोच रहे हो? नहीं. Why do you think बोलते जरूर हैं शुरू में, लेकिन इसका ये नहीं मतलब है कि तुम क्यों सोच रहे हो, प्लीज, या सोचते हो. ठीक है? The meaning is तुमको क्या लगता है वो क्यों रो रहा है? Why do you think he is crying? There is one thing
Sir,
called fluency. Yes, just hold on, just 1 second. There is one thing called fluency. If we have to choose the most fluent person in this class, it could be the student who is absent here, Nikhil. Right? He can speak a lot of words, but is he the most accurate as well when he speaks? then the obvious answer is no. He's not the most accurate. So if I tell you what the accuracy is from the beginning, and if you guys have a little bit discipline in you, then you will learn correct English. Fluency will come over time. He is older than many of you, 27, right? So 27 clearly means he's been learning English, practicing English, speaking English for nearly 7 years now. 7 years, right? Now you think of yourself in 5 years from now, if you continue with the practice for 5 years. What will happen? You will have the same fluency that he has, but on the top of that, you will also have accuracy. Yes, go ahead, Shahid.
No, Mukarram.
Mukarram, go ahead, Mukarram.
Sir, I said if I put a question mark after the situation, so can we use have you ever been in?
No,
The
no.
question, what's the most dangerous situation? Question mark. It's a very
Yeah.
incomplete question and has a very different meaning. You cannot, okay, it's an important question, Mukarram, and you are giving me an opportunity to teach you guys a very important point. If you have two sentences, there must be a link between them. If they are coming one after another, there must be a link. So if I say, what's the most dangerous situation? Full stop. So what is the meaning of this sentence?
What is the most
Nothing.
dangerous
Well, no, the meaning is what's the most dangerous situation?
situation?
Yeah, just a
दुनिया
dangerous
में
situation.
दुनिया में सबसे ज्यादा डेंजरस सिचुएशन क्या होता है?
Yeah,
What is the most dangerous situation? वो तो है ही नहीं जो हम बोलना चाह रहे हैं
yes.
कि आपके लाइफ में सबसे ज्यादा डेंजरस, ये तो हुआ ही नहीं. What's the most dangerous? What's the tastiest thing? Question mark. दुनिया का सबसे ज्यादा टेस्टी थिंग क्या है? अब आगे सुनो. तो इसका तो फिलोसॉफिकल आंसर आएगा सक्सेस. Philosophical
Yeah.
answer is success. The
Success.
tastiest thing in the world
You
is
have ever
success.
eaten.
Okay. But अब सुनो, what's the tastiest thing you have ever eaten? ठीक है, तो अब बात सिंपल अलग हो गई भाई कि आपने अपने जीवन में सबसे ज्यादा टेस्टी चीज कौन सी खाया है? What's the tastiest thing you have ever tasted, eaten? Yeah, cooked.
Don't want to say that, sir.
Censor your thinking, man. Censor your thinking.
Don't want to say that.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
will be bad for class.
Okay, okay. Censor your thinking. And
what?
next thing, what's the most dangerous situation you have ever been in? Well,
I was in Vishal Mega Mart and I was in lift and suddenly when the door opened in front of me there were two boys from my hostel, so I was very confused how did they came here and they saw me and I have to manipulate them that I just doing the I was there for something, so that was the most dangerous situation.
okay. Come on, everybody. What's the most dangerous situation you have ever been in? Right? It's a good question to answer, right? Think about it. I'll come back to you. In the audio, you hear, well, I was in a very difficult time in Egypt.
I
Right?
had a very difficult time.
I had a very difficult time because in is not here. I had a very difficult time. I had a very difficult time in Egypt during the revolution in 2011. During the revolution. Do you know anything about this revolution in 2011 in Egypt?
No, sir.
No.
Do you know anything about Iran? How Khomeini government came there? What
No,
happened there?
we are not connected with that.
History. Do you know why we see a strange kind of terrorism in the world? If you call it Islamic terrorism, why suddenly in last 30, 40, 50 years? Before that, there wasn't much, okay? There wasn't terrorism of this kind, okay? This idea that blow the aeroplane into a building, kill 3,000 people. This kind of idea didn't exist. Why? Do you know? Perhaps not. Okay. This is an interesting chapter in history, and you guys should know it's recent history. It all happened because of America and Russia. All because of America and Russia. In America, there has always been this thing about Russia that you have to compete with Russia. There was a time Russia was a superpower, you know. USSR, United States of Soviet Russia. Yeah. And United States of Soviet Russia attacked Afghanistan. Do you know this?
Yes, sir.
And America supported Afghani people through Pakistan and through Saudi Arab. Bin Laden was an engineer. You have heard Osama bin Laden?
Yes. Yes.
So he was an engineer. Of course, do you know Baha'ism?
No.
There was a mullah in Saudi Arabia. His name was Bahav, surname. Okay. He proposed an idea. You can research about it, why he did it. Okay. So he blackmailed the king of Saudi Arabia, Bahav. Okay. Bahav or Bahavi. Okay. His name was Bahav or Bahavi. He blackmailed the king of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia king saw a real threat. He was teaching people to take the book, the Quran, literally. People wanted to, people don't take, scriptures literally, whether it is Hinduism or Christianity or Islam, any religion. People don't take the books literally, because if you take the books literally, then what will happen? You will find it very confusing, because literally le loge to. Okay? So you have to use figurative, imagination to take out certain meanings. He was teaching, take it literally. And that was very challenging. I think there was America behind it. Okay, you have to study about it. And Saudi Arabia king had to make a deal with Bahavi. He had to make a deal with him. From there, it was in the 60s. I'm not sure about that. And this Bahavism started selling. He started sending people to Bangladesh, to Pakistan, to Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia. Take your book literally. Jo likha jaske tas mano. Usme kuch idhar udhar mat karo. Dimag mat lagao. Before that, Sufism jante ho? Sufism? Sufism comes from Islam, right? They also believe in the Quran, Allah, okay? But they do not take the book literally. They take the figurative meanings always. Jisse ki insan ek dusre ke saath jude. Right? Bahavism is terrorism basically. Bahavism is terrorism basically. He thought, take the book literally. Jaise likha waisi mano. People are not supposed to come together. When you take books literally, any book, people will not come together. They will fight. They will have problems. That is what happened. But America supported Bahavism because it helped him, because Bahavism created those young boys like Osama bin Laden who were ready to kill and die for against Russia. Chechnya, आपने सुना होगा?
Yes, sir, Chechnya.
ये अमेरिका ने उसको सपोर्ट करा कि हाँ ये सही है पैसे दो, क्योंकि बिना पैसे का दुनिया में कुछ नहीं होता. जितना भगवान अल्लाह गॉड कर लो, कुछ जितना करना कर लो, पैसे के बगैर कुछ नहीं होता. पत्थर नहीं हिलता अपने आप से. ओके, यू कैन बिलीव व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू बिलीव that God runs this world, but पैसा नहीं दोगे तो पत्थर यहाँ से वहां नहीं जाएगा. आदमी लगेगा, आदमी को पैसा चाहिए उठा के रखने के लिए, मशीन लगेगा, पैसा लगेगा, right? He did that. America supported, Saudi Arabia. Isn't it interesting that Saudi Arabia has never been a democracy? Saudi Arabia has never been a democracy. America is a champion of democracy. And it always had a very good relation with Saudi Arabia. America, how come? Interesting, isn't it? Here in Iran, there was a elected government, and America CIA kind of threw that government out of power and put his own puppet, Shah, जिसके बारे में आपने सुना होगा, जिसको भगा के खुमैनी गवर्नमेंट आई थी. तो अगर आपके इंडिया में कोई अमेरिका puts a king or a prime minister, are you guys Indians going to be happy with that? You want
No.
to elect your own prime minister, right? जिसको भी वोट करो, whether it is Modi, whether it is Rahul Gandhi, whether it is Kejriwal, whether it is Mamata Banerjee, whether it is Nitish Kumar, you guys want to decide, right? Imagine if you get a clear message that the person who is ruling you, who is your prime minister, is not the person you have elected. उसको हटा दिया जाए किसी बहाने से, and you set another prime minister. And this is exactly what America did in Pakistan. Don't forget. Imran Khan was so critical of America. Suddenly, Imran Khan was out of power. And what happened? Another government came, and now Imran Khan is in jail. Imran Khan was very critical of America, very critical of America. He didn't want to do what America wanted him to do. And he was saying it out loud on TV. America didn't like it. CIA didn't like it. So he kept saying it. लेकिन ऐसा थोड़ी पता चलने वाला है, ऐसे आसानी से पता चल जाए तो फिर तो खेल ही नहीं होगा. America has thrown many governments in South America out of power. The governments that do not favor America, they remove those governments simply. In Afghanistan, in Iran, they have done it everywhere. They always wanted a government that can be exploited for their interests. So ये सब पढ़ना चाहिए आप लोग को, क्योंकि आप लोग इस दुनिया में जो चीजें हो रही है ना, आप भले हिस्ट्री के स्टूडेंट ना हो, it's okay, but just read, because if you know the reality, okay, the knowledge you have, the truth you know about what happened, then you will understand the current situation without being manipulated.
But
Okay.
Afghanistan showed bravery, sir. So you see, when the Taliban in power, there were two prime minister. I think I heard there was two prime minister in Afghanistan. America means how I don't know clearly, but when but now there is only one prime minister. But
Yes.
back then there were two prime minister, and half
Every
of
country should be left on their own. हर एक country को अपने हाल पे छोड़ देना चाहिए. Whatever people decide there, we should not interfere. We should only interfere when there is a situation like in Bangladesh, where thousands and thousands of people were being raped and murdered and children were being killed. Then you had to interfere. America did not interfere, son of, okay? America did not interfere in Bangladesh in 1971. Bangladesh didn't want to stay with Pakistan because of what Pakistan were doing to Bangladesh. They were killing their language, they were mocking their women, they were making fun of their culture. And these Punjabi people in Pakistan, they are dacoits, they are thugs. ये जो पंजाबी है ना, पंजाब, ये पाकिस्तान का, that's alone enjoying lots of resources of all the provinces. जैसे ऐसे समझ लो ना कि जैसे बिहार के साथ छोटा ये पिछड़ा है, लेकिन हम सब जगह से पैसे लेते हैं हम लोग, पता है ना आपको? बिहार gets revenue from all other states like southern states, लेकिन हम लोग impose नहीं करते अपना बिल को. ये भी थोड़ा controversial है वैसे matter. Anyways, Punjab, all the people in Punjab, they are enjoying much better life. They don't have much resources there. Balochistan has more resources. Swat Valley has resources. And these resources are being exploited by Punjabis. तो ये पंजाबियों को आदत है वहां की. पाकिस्तानी पंजाबी जो है ना, they have this habit of exploiting their own people. Okay, they were doing the same with Bangladesh, and Bangladesh were not okay with that. So again, it's all very interesting. But America, oh my God, their CIA, oh my God. अगर कोई villain है दुनिया का, so that was CIA and the American government of the time. They were hand in hand. They did so many bad things. There are so many problems in the world today because of them. आपको पैसा देके कुछ भी कराया जा सकता है यार, आप समझो बात को. बहुत लोग, मान लो आप नहीं करोगे, कोई और कर लेगा.
yes.
And they always had resources, money. Anyways, coming back to this, I don't know why we started that topic. हो जाता है
That
कभी
was
कभी.
interesting.
But it was good, so and interesting.
Okay.
But we all have to know about politics, but
Read more about it. What Wahhabism is, where it started, why the deal that Saudi Arabia king had to make with Bahavi. Okay, remember, अभी क्या कहते हैं, लोग कंट्रोल में रहते हैं, नहीं तो जो भी जिसके भी लोग फॉलोअर्स होते हैं ना, वो he can do that, he can manipulate government. What was his name? Bapu, Kejriwal, Anna Hazare. People trusted him, na? When the protests started in Delhi in 2000, it was 8 or 11, I don't remember. So there were so many protests there. Or I think it was 2011 or 12. I don't remember exactly. My knowledge or memory of date is very bad. So people trusted Anna Hazare. That's why they were rallying, behind him. Yes, we support you, Anna Hazare. You are the right person. Agar Anna Hazare greedy ho jaye, okay? And if he is manipulative ho, so he can use this power now. That is what happened with Saudi Arabia, and America played a very important role. And again, it's always about Russia, America, Russia, America. I just really hope that these two countries become weak so that they can't really, do any damage to the rest of the world. All the problems. They never talk about what is right, what should happen. They only think about their own interest, how they can maintain their supremacy. Today, I'm talking about it because I listened to an interview, I will share with you guys, of a spy from the US, CIA spy, and she herself confessed that CIA did very bad things. A lot of scientists were killed by CIA in India as well. Okay, so many
Sir,
things.
how can she confess on the call and messages? I don't. What if that reveal?
Because
They will
certain
kill.
things are,
They will kill
certain
him.
things are,
Kill
Huh,
her.
no. Certain things are out already. She said she did not talk about exactly what was done. She said that we did some bad things. We removed the democratically elected government from Iran and put Shah there. What happened today? Iran is a demon country today. Demon means people in Iran are all nice, but the power is in the Khomeini government, and they can do anything, man. If they get nuclear power, you have no idea. They might drop nuclear bomb on America and Israel. They might do it because they don't care about anything. They are not accountable to people. When a government is accountable to people, the people they are for, like in India, okay, if the Modi government does something stupid, then they will lose the vote, right?
Yes.
We will not vote the government back in power. So the government knows what people
There's
want,
such a rule, no?
right? But those governments which are autocratic, which are like, what do you call them?
King.
Dictator type governments, they don't care about what people want. Saddam Hussein, what did he do? In Iraq, there was a little bit of a revolt, or let's say rebellion. Could the people rebel? He used these gases, to kill people, their own people, Iraqi people. ठीक है, suppose tomorrow there is a problem in Kashmir, then Modi will ask to put the poisonous gases there in Kashmir. Will that be okay?
No.
Think about it. I mean, yes, you have a problem, you have to sort the problem, you have to deal with the problem, but if you put gas there, kill all the Kashmiris. So is that a solution? So that's what Saddam Hussein did to its own people, to Iraqi people.
Why
Kurdi
did
people.
he do?
Because again, he was a dictator. He was not accountable. He didn't have to face an election. Democracy is good because at least a group of people will decide what is right, what is wrong. And so many people can't be wrong, where millions and billions of people are deciding, then they can't be all wrong. But 5-10 people, if power is in the hand of 5-10 people, they can make any stupid decision, can't they? So this is why we support democracy. Democracy is a good way of governance because yes, progress can be slow. Development will be slow. It is true because they have to worry about vote bank. But it is also true that they will not do anything stupid. Saddam Hussein, again, the war on Iraq from America was absolutely nonsense. Saddam Hussein was guilty of, that it is true. But when he did it, America did not react at that moment. America reacted much later with an excuse that they have mass destruction weapon. But they had, but he had used this gas, against the Kurdish people. It is proven. We have evidence of that. So he was bad in this way. He was a dictator. Dictators do not value, criticism. They do not understand criticism has its own importance. When whoever you are, whether it is me or you, anybody is criticized, if you don't listen to the criticism, then you are never going to get better. You listen, you decide whether the criticism is okay or not on its merit.
But our Islam also said that no matter, but you don't have to write to kill the people, sir. No matter.
Yeah, absolutely, Shahid. Absolutely, I totally agree with you. Mass murder. Okay. Now the second part.
If anyone do that, so then you don't
One
have
does
to
that.
think
Shahid,
that
basic mistake,
he
Shahid.
okay.
Anyone does that.
So you don't have to judge that he is Muslim because that way he does that. It's all
You're
about
breaking up,
person,
Shahid. You're breaking up. We can't understand what you're saying. You're breaking up.
Okay, I mean, I'm where I can notice very well.
Yeah, you're breaking up
I said,
right now.
if Hussein does that or did that, so you don't have to judge that uh, a Muslim person who is does that he is terrorist.
It's irrelevant here. It's irrelevant. His religion is irrelevant here.
Yes, sir.
His religion is irrelevant in this case. In this
Yes.
case, hunger for power. He did not want any resistance from anywhere. He said, Salam Mardo. That was absolutely not okay. His religion is not a factor here.
You don't have to target the religion. I just want to say that.
Nobody is targeting the religion.
No, I'm just saying, you are not saying that. But if anyone,
Okay, coming back to 6.7, we have checked this. Now, I had a very difficult time in Egypt during the revolution in 2011.
we'll try to read about that. You said whatever.
Please read about everything I told you about how Khomeini government came, how Shah was a puppet of America, and how he was brought. It was really bad of America. America has always kind of.
If there is topic some topic going on, and if I don't know anything, I think then I start thinking that I'm dumb, sir.
I understand that feeling because I have felt that way in a conversation where I didn't know what they were talking about, and the subject matter was interesting. I had interest. Sometimes I don't have interest. Then I don't feel bad. I say, okay, I'm not interested. But I was interested and I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah. I'm also interested here, but I don't know anything.
I was in class 5th when Iraq was attacked by America. Okay. And my teacher talked about it every day in the class, but I couldn't understand anything back then. He used to show us maps. यहाँ देखो यहाँ है, ये हो रहा है, यहाँ से ऐसे हो रहा है. And we didn't understand. I didn't understand maps when I was young. I couldn't understand map at all when I was young. I started to understand maps much later. I think when I was in my 20s, then I could understand maps a little better. I didn't even understand north, south, or north कैसे हो गया उधर, ऊपर north कैसे होता है. I didn't understand this. My geography teacher wasn't very nice. Okay, listen to this here, and 6.7.
And one more thing I want to say.
Yes.
When why didn't you send recording on Saturday, sir, or either Sunday? Because you always send after Monday. We have to save our data. And how can I watch it on Monday? If you send Sunday and Saturday, then I'll use my data at that time.
Next time it will be on, in the group on Sunday. Don't worry.
Either Sunday or Saturday,
Yeah, I
but
understand.
not on Monday.
What happens, it's laziness, like you guys know, when you say, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. And that is how you spend the whole day.
6.7. Frieda Hoffman, Part 2. 1.
Do you go back to Germany much?
No, I don't. I've been back a few times to visit relatives, but I've never lived there again. I feel more English than German now, and
I feel more English than German now. She feels more English than German. She now lives in England, right? She feels more English than German.
I've forgotten a lot of my German.
And she has forgotten a lot of her German. She has forgotten a lot of her German. Okay. She was only 10 years old when she moved, right? 7
Yeah.
or 10? 6. She was only 6. Obviously, she has forgotten a lot of her German. Because now it is 6 years versus 50 years. If she's 56 now, so for 50 years she has been living in England. For first 6 years she was in Germany. So obviously she will feel more English than German now.
2.
What did you study at university?
I studied ancient history at Cambridge.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh, yes. I had a wonderful time. The course was amazing, and
The course was amazing. She enjoyed studying ancient history. And
Cambridge is a great place to live.
Cambridge is a great place to live. I wish we could say that about Bihar. Bihar is a great place to live. Or maybe it is. Yeah, it is in a way. You don't have much crime. Yeah, at least that is one good thing, no? You don't have much crime in Bihar State.
3.
Cambridge is a... Yeah.
Have you ever had any other jobs, apart from being an archaeologist?
Yes, I have. I've done all sorts of jobs. I even worked as a waitress when I was at university.
Really? What was that like?
I loved it. I was a tour guide too in the
I loved it. And I was a tour guide too. She was a tour guide, waitress, tour guide. Usually these are temporary jobs. People who are young, studying the subject, they normally do it for a little bit of money, but their main aim is something else. Unfortunately, you find a lot of people in their 40s and 50s working as waiters or tour guides, but honestly, these jobs are not supposed to be done for such a long time by an individual. You lose your interest. Think about it. Being a waiter is not a job one aspires to. Do you aspire to be a waiter? Do you dream to be a waiter? Now imagine you started this job as a waiter when you were young because you needed some extra money. Okay, fine. Then you moved away from this job, you found something better, you moved on in life. But imagine those people who are stuck in this waiter's job for 20 years. What have they gained in life? Not much, right? So you find some such people here in Bihar State in their 40s and they're working as waiters. So obviously they're not going to be very happy. When you're young, you enjoy talking to people. There is another, excitement that you might meet somebody exciting, interesting, beautiful. That's also an incentive when you're young. When you're in your 40s, you're not going to attract somebody's attention being a waiter. So that's not there. And the salary is not that great either. Do you understand what I'm talking about? That there are certain jobs which should be done for a certain period of time. If you somehow get to stay there for too long, then it becomes really boring. Especially small jobs like waiters and tour guides. Tour guides, basically, what do they depend on? How do they earn their livelihood? Tour guides, they get the money from the people who they show around, So you're a young boy, you interact more with more energy, and people enjoy being with young people. That's okay. But you are in your 40s, you are in your 50s, and you are a tour guide. Unless you are really good at it, you're not going to make much money. You tell me, if you go to
leave,
Chennai,
sir, send as soon recording as soon as possible. I have to go somewhere.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Right.
sir.
I will see
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye. I was saying, think of yourself on a holiday. Okay, you're on holiday somewhere. And who would you like as your guide? An old man or a young man? A young girl or an old woman? Young girl, young boy who has more energy, right? People enjoy being with young people like that. I mean, normally, you see, if you get an option to choose between a person in his 40s and a person in his 20s, unless there is a big difference in their skills, you will always choose the man in his 20s as your tour guide, right? It's more fun to be around young people. Imagine if I were the same teacher as I am, and if I were in my 20s now, how great it would be for you guys. You would have loved it, right? Imagine if I had the same sort of abilities in my 20s. If you get to choose between me in my 40s and the same knowledge in my 20s, I think you would choose me in my 20s because it's easier to get along with a young person. You can get, I think this works this way. In certain jobs, you want younger people. Okay, anyways, maybe your opinion can be different a little bit here. She worked as a waitress. She worked as a tour guide as well.
Holidays, I met some really interesting people.
And she met some really interesting people. Again, like I told you, you have this excitement about meeting some interesting people when you're young. When you're older, it doesn't really matter that much. Your thinking changes.
4. You said you've often been in danger. What's
You said you have often been in danger. You said you have often been in danger. आप बोली थी कि आप अक्सर आप परेशानी में आई हैं. Let's listen to this line once again.
Said you've often been in danger. You said you've often been in danger. What's the most dangerous situation you've ever been in?
What's the most dangerous situation you have ever been in?
Well, I had a very difficult time in Cairo during the revolution in 2011. I spent 2 weeks inside my friend's house. It was too dangerous to go out.
It was too dangerous to go out.
Of course, I'm fortunate. I can leave a country when things get...
Of course, I was fortunate. Because I could leave the country when the situation got a little better.
really dangerous. It was the local... I can leave a country when things get really dangerous.
Oh, sorry. I can leave a country when things get really dangerous. So she is fortunate. But what about the local people? Can they leave as well? They don't have that luxury. Like what happened in Afghanistan, this Taliban people and the other government had a clash. Taliban were hiring young boys forcefully, fight for us, come join us, right? And that's why guys like Mohammad Razai had to leave Afghanistan and go to England, right? So only some local people have this opportunity to leave their country. The rest of them are stuck there. What is happening in other places where there are wars going on? Those people want to leave. They don't want to stay, but they are being kept there. Nobody wants to die, guys. There are very few people motivated enough to fight a war, a battle. Most people want to run away. Understand that? ये आपको जो घुट्टी पिलाया गया ना कि हाँ सब लोग देशभक्त होते हैं, देशभक्ति अलग चीज है, जान अपने आप बचाना अलग डिजायर होता है. If there is a war against India, then not all Indians will join the army. Some Indians will join the army, right?
It was the local people I felt sorry for.
It was the local people I felt sorry for. She felt sorry for the local people because they could not leave like her. She left when the situation got too dangerous, right? Okay. So you want to practice the conversation first of all with each other. Go ahead and practice the conversation. Do you have the audio script? Perhaps no. I'm sharing with you. 6 point. 6.7. Practice the conversation. And if you need any help, let me know. Go ahead, guys, practice. Adnan, do you want to make a phone call to Saqib? Maybe you have Saqib's number. A telegram call, maybe. Okay. Okay. Yeah, as you wish. No problem. Saqib, Mukarram, please join the breakout room. When one corrects another, and this kind of motivates them to be competitive, to avoid mistakes. Being too lazy is not good. I think I told you guys to correct that mistake the other day, but nobody bothered to.
So we
Right.
have only 2 minutes.
We have only 2 minutes. Oh, yeah. If I had noticed that, I would have allowed those 2 minutes to you guys in the breakout room itself. Never mind. But I would like to give you some homework in the practice book because you need more practice of the same thing you're studying. Yeah. What page number was the last one?
Sir, I asked Mukarram one question and I want to know what
Ask.
was Spry
Go ahead. Ask.
most dangerous situation.
Leave it, Imran. Don't embarrass me. Yeah.
Uh,
The most difficult
okay,
situation Mukarram has ever been in.
okay.
I,
If you feel embarrassed, then you don't
Bye,
need
sir.
you're asking me or you're asking Mukarram?
Mukarram, sir.
Mukarram doesn't want to talk about it.
I said,
Yes, I feel
it's
embarrassed.
hard to think of it, but it happened recently. I shared with her.
Most difficult situation. I have been
Yeah,
in very difficult situations
it
on
was difficult, not dangerous. I got caught, sir, by police. We were in a bike. We didn't have a helmet and we didn't have a driving license. And fortunately, we managed.
You managed to
And
get
it
out
happened.
without paying any money, or did you have to
No,
lose?
sir. I gave him.
How much did you have to pay?
So 500, so it was 500.
3 times I managed to get out without paying any fine. Okay, but
I
I think
called my friend, sir. He said a policeman was new. I couldn't do anything. And I called my brother. I called most of the people, but they said no. And they were from Lahari Thana. It's not an easy thing. Okay. And bike was my mama's bike, sir. And we were very,
Mhm.
we have to scold. Mama will scold us. So we
Actually,
think
it was
lots of
good that you
things.
had to pay because after that you are very careful. Once you lose money, you
Yeah.
become very careful. Because I told you 3 times I managed to get away. I didn't have my helmet. I didn't have any documents on me. And I was riding my bike. I was stopped by these people. And then I got away with my English, I spoke English and got away. But this last time, I think it was 2021 Holi. Okay. 2021 or 2022 Holi it was. 23. 2022 Holi. And just a couple of days before Holi, I was going to buy some curtains for my classroom with my daughter. And at the Bihar Thana, I was stopped. And He made me pay 1,000 rupees. That was the day. Ever since, I have never forgotten to wear my helmet when I go out. I always wear my helmet when I go out, and it is so good because it's not about saving money. It's also about saving life. You never know when you will have an accident. If you're wearing a helmet, at least you will be alive. Some fractures here and there if it is a bad accident, but you will survive, right, with the helmet on. So I actually thank that person who made me pay, because I got a good habit because of him. I got my lesson. So I think, everybody who commits a crime, who makes a mistake, should pay a price so that they can learn the lesson. Sometimes you don't learn your lesson unless you pay a price. Okay, fine. With these words, let's wrap up. I have already shared the homework with you guys in the group. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 6 o'clock. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.
Yes, sir.
Good night.
Bye,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Bye. Good night. Good night.